What's up, friends? Let me tell you why I think building a drum set is more similar to building a PC than you might think. Alternative title for this video. Let me tell you why I'm way more of a nerd than you thought I was. You think me playing the drums makes me cool? You didn't? Then you are correct. We need a central backbone or a structure to attach everything to. So for most people that would be stands, cymbal stands and tom stands. But if you particularly like punishing yourself, it could also be a drum rack. For the rack, I'm using a DW9000 rack system, and the motherboard of my PC is a Gigabyte X670E Aorus Master. My room is white, so I thought I would go with a white case to fit the white room. I also wanted something really aesthetically pleasing, something pretty, like a nice looking case since it'll be on camera a lot. So I went with the Lian Li O11 Dynamic Evo case. And for my room, I'm using a room with walls. Right in the middle of the drums is the kick, and kind of right in the middle of the PC is the CPU, which I would say is kind of the head of the computer and mostly runs the show. Just like the kick. My drums are all DW Performance Series, and this kick is a 22x18. My CPU is a AMD Ryzen 9 7950X3D processor. If the kick is the CPU, then the CPU cooler will have to be the pedals, because that's all I got, and this analogy is on a fine line right now. So if the CPU is the head that kind of runs the show, then the GPU, or the graphics card, has to be the heart, you know? Because that's where the magic happens, and that has to be the snare. My main snare is a DW Performance Series 14x6.5. My GPU is the monstrously ridiculous and insane Gigabyte Aero OC GeForce RTX 4090. And it's pretty. It's really pretty, it looks really nice. It is both a beast and beautiful. It's a beautiful beast. It's a gorgeous animal. It is a pretty demon. Next up, we need something to bridge the gap between these components. So for the kick and the snare, I feel like what would bridge the gap would be the hats and the ride. And for the CPU and the GPU, I feel like that would be the memory. I'm using a 15-inch Sabian Groove hats on the left-hand side, and then a 22-inch Omni on the right-hand side. The memory I'm using is 32 gigs of Gigabyte Aorus DDR5 6000 CL40 memory. If you're busy playing a song on the drums and you want to transition from the verse to the chorus, you're going to need something to make the transition with. Toms are really good for that. If you're working on a PC and you want to transition between different workloads at different times, storage is really good for that. In my PC, I have three 1TB Gigabyte Aorus NVMe drives, as well as an 18 GB Seagate hard drive for long-term storage and backups. Next up, we need power. So for the PC, that's going to be a PSU, and for the drums, that's going to be the rest of the cymbals, because I have run out of components. My cymbals are plenty, so I'll list them in the description below. My PSU is the Gigabyte UG1000GM PG5, which is a 1000-watt 80+ gold PSU. And then lastly, and this is by far the most important component, because nothing will work without this, and that's fans. On my drums, that's best represented by fans. Literal actual fans that spin and move the air. Air conditioning helps a lot too. In my PC, that's just pretty good looking, very easy to install Lian Li SL Infinity 120mm fans. The reason why fans are so important is because they basically keep the system running. They keep it stable, they keep it functioning, and they make sure that the system reaches its full potential. You know? Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. And there it is, all done. Drums are built, PC is built. Now, you know what happens. So how are these two things similar, and why do I love them both? Because drumming, unlike almost any other instrument, involves you building your own instrument. You get all the pieces, but they can't do anything on their own. You have to think and strategize and come up with a unique configuration and then build it with your hands before you can play it. Building computers is the same way, especially if you get really into it, because if you get really into it, you'll research the components, and then after you've gotten all the parts, it's on you to build it. And in both cases, the result is the same. You've now made the thing that you can use to make more things. After you've built a drum set, you can make a song on it. And after you've built your PC, you can make a video on it. That's kind of cool to me, man. Here are 3 things for you to check out in the description if you're interested. Firstly, there's a link to all the parts of the computer that I built if you'd like to check it out in more detail. Secondly, there's a link to my Patreon page if you'd like to join my team and help me make more videos. And thirdly, there's a message. Man, it's rare to be a drummer and a PC nerd at the same time. This is really cool. Thank you for letting me share this with you. My obsession with the drums and my obsession with computers and building them. This has been such a fun video to make. I've enjoyed every part of this process. If you guys enjoy videos like this, please let me know. I would love to make more videos like this. And mostly just very thankful that you watched all the way to the end. You're a boss. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.